what a day we've got planned. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You see what we did? We rested two big guns and still came out with a dub, Skip. That's what we do.
Shannon Sharp, what is going on with your man LeBron James? He keeps leaking. He's going to play against the Knicks. Then he's going to play against the Rockets. And I think he's just resting on his laurels from last year. He shows up for the banner raising, and he doesn't even play against the lowly Rockets. Maybe he's going to take the rest of the year off. Maybe he's done. I don't know.
Let me tell you how confident we are. We might not play Bron and AD in the play-in game.
Oh.
And just wait for the real thing to start. That's how confident we feeling right now.
We'll see about
You're
that.
feeling that confident. I do not understand what's going on with LeBron. I hope that both of you can explain it to me later. But I would like to start somewhere else. We are so excited to break down the NFL's first ever 17-game regular season schedule for 2021. And we are going to take a full look at the Cowboys' entire schedule, tell you their record. Skip and Shannon may disagree there, but only appropriate. We begin with the defending champs. And one game we've all wondered about and can now officially circle in red Sharpie is Week 4 when Tom Brady and the Bucs travel to New England to face Bill Belichick and his former team of 20 years where Brady won 6 Super Bowl rings. He can become the 4th quarterback in league history to defeat all 32 teams. In fact, the NFL's director of broadcasting and a member of the scheduling team calls it, quote, a once-in-a-lifetime game. So, Shannon, who wins Week 4 at Foxborough, and what is the Bucs' overall record here?
Well, Skip, it doesn't happen very often. That's why in the 100-year, 101-year history now, there have only been 4 quarterbacks to defeat all the teams, because normally the quarterbacks, Skip, they stay there for perpetuity. They retire or they go to some downtrodden team. We saw Johnny Unitas finish, if I'm not mistaken, Skip. I think he finished in San Diego.
He did.
I think Joe Namath was with a Ram.
He was.
And they weren't very good. So if they played the previous team, they weren't good enough or in a good enough situation to win. But you look at Peyton Manning, you look at, I think, Drew Brees and Brett Favre, probably the others, and no one really thought that Tom Brady, when he was in year 18, 19, would even have an opportunity to ever play against the Patriots. So this is probably a once-in-a-lifetime thing. But for me, Skip, I believe the Patriots are going to be a much better football team. And this is what we know. Coach Belichick, at some point in time, has given every quarterback he faced a problem. Maybe not the second time around, but the first time around. And this is the first time that Coach Belichick is actually playing a live game plan, preparing a live game plan for Tom Brady. Now, Skip, we know in practice, 2-minute drill or things of that nature, Coach Belichick probably would come up with schemes and says, okay, Tom, this is what I'm going to give you today, and then let's see how you handle it. And then he and Tom can sit down and say, well, I'm thinking the defensive coordinator is going to do this, because this is what I would do if you came out in this formation, in this down and distance, in this area of the field. So it was a great back and forth, and Tom Brady learned some valuable things. And so I think I don't consider this is the first time, Skip. I really think that Coach Belichick maybe has given Tom Brady too much information, because Tom knows things about Coach Belichick and what he likes to call in certain areas of the field. But I'm going to take the Patriots to win this game in the upset. The Bucs will be coming off a long West Coast trip. They play Week 3. They play at the Rams. The Rams normally give them fit with that pass rush. Now they come all the way back to Tampa, try to prepare, and then get ready for New England. New England with their addition, Skip. Cam Newton is going to be another year further removed from that surgery. Hunter Smith, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Trent Brown at tackle. I think they made upgrades. They brought Nelson Aguilar in. They brought Nelson Bourne in. They've revamped this, and basically, Skip, this offense is going to be anew. This is not the offense that we saw last year. We're going to see a different offense. I believe they're better this year around. And so I'm going to take the Patriots in an upset. And I'm going to go on and put them cases of due on it, because I don't want you to try to wiggle out because something unforeseen might happen. But we got due on it right now. I'm taking the Patriots in an upset.
How much due? Name it.
All right. Okay, let's start. We're gonna start with 3 cases, and we could possibly build our way up all the way up to like 5 or 6.
The sky is the limit on how many cases you want to lose to me on October 3rd, Sunday night, for our Monday show on October 4th. I cannot wait, because I'm going to be sitting in this very chair in all my glory, gloating about the maybe 10 cases of Diet Mountain Dew that I just won the night before from you, thanks to Thomas, Edward, Patrick, Brady Jr. Shannon Sharp, there is absolutely no way in heaven, no way in hell, that Tom Brady is going to lose to Bill Belichick in Foxborough, Massachusetts on Sunday night, October 3rd. It will not happen because Tom Brady will not allow it to happen. That is his house more than it is Belichick's house. Right now, yes. Belichick's basically just squatting in Tom's old house. Tom Brady, I used to say, was 75% of the dynasty, and now I've gone up to, as I told you last year, 90% of the credit he deserves for the New England dynasty, because all he did in his first year away from Belichick was to completely recreate the Patriot way in Tampa Bay. And he turned a 7-9 team into a Super Bowl winner during a pandemic. I have never seen anything like it in the history of sports. And he showed you once and for all, I was the reason we were winning those championships in Foxborough. And he's going to go in there and put Belichick back in his place face to face. And he will delight in it. Now, I'm going to give you this. You mentioned the West Coast trip that they're going to have to undergo before they go to Foxborough. And I will give you this. On the Buccaneers schedule, to me, easily the most dangerous game is at the Rams. Again, it'll be Matt Stafford this time instead of Jared Goff. But we saw what Jared Goff did to the Tampa Bay defense at Tampa Bay last year, as you recall. And that, was it a Sunday or Monday night game? Okay, it was a night game. And it was a nightmare is what it was. And they have to go to the Rams on September 26th ahead of going to the Patriots. So the Rams are actually sitting pretty, because it's possible that at least Brady would be looking ahead to New England, if not just by osmosis, just by contagious effect, that the whole team will have its mind starting to head back toward Foxborough before they take care of business at Rams. So I give you that the Rams are in a really beneficial spot on the schedule. But I don't think that's going to help. I don't think it will help the Rams or the Patriots. I look at the schedule and I say, Shannon, it just might be the easiest schedule in the NFL, and Brady and company are the defending champs. So I know it's one game at a time, and I fully realize, we do this every year, that this schedule in December might look a lot different than it does in May.
Exactly.
Because of, you know, injuries and this team rises, this team falls unexpectedly. Right. It always happens. But the harder I look at this schedule, the more I like Brady's chances of going 17-0. Oh, and if they go 17-0, then I have no idea how they wouldn't have 2 home games and a Super Bowl with a shot at getting to 20-0. I told you yesterday, it wouldn't shock me at all if they went 20-0. But the only sure shot on here, even sure than sweeping the division against your basic Atlantas and Carolinas and no breeze in New Orleans, the only sure shot on here for me is Tom Brady will beat the Patriots. He'll be somewhere around a 3.5, 4-point favorite. And I've got the score of that game 32-10, Brady over Belichick. And I'm here to suggest it won't feel much like a home game for Belichick, because I think the Patriot crowd is going to be half-hearted in their cheering for the home team. I think their emotions are going to be seriously mixed, and they won't be able to help themselves from cheering when Brady does throw 3 touchdown passes, maybe a couple to Gronkowski, just for the sake of the good old days. So I got 32-10, Brady over Belichick on October 3rd.
Well, Skip, I think the thing is that his return will be a lot different than some of the returns that we've seen in the NBA, where the player gets booed. We saw what happened with KD when he went back to OKC. We saw what happened to LeBron when he went back to Cleveland,
Yep.
and to a lesser degree, somewhat when he went back to Miami. So I believe the Brady homecoming will be less contentious than what we saw with those guys. And I also believe, Skip, the players, the Buccaneer players, will be highly motivated to make sure and try to secure this victory for Tom, because they know how much it's going to mean to him. Now, Tom Brady's going to say, hey, it's just, Skip, we know Tom. Tom is going to be cliche-ish in this one. Or it's just another game.
Yep.
It's just, we're just trying to get better. We just hope we can go in there and play well. But we know